Good evening. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we truly will rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for coming and being a part of this wonderful presentation of the Living Last Supper. We're glad you're here. We hope that you will not only enjoy this presentation, but that your soul will be highly blessed after this service. Again, thank you for coming. Thank you.
On the first day of the Passover, the day the lambs were sacrificed, the disciples asked Jesus where he wanted to go to eat the traditional Passover supper. He sent two of them into Jerusalem to make the arrangements. As you're walking along, he told them, you will see a man coming towards you carrying a pot of water. Follow him. At the house he enters, tell the man in charge, our master sent us to seize the room you have ready for us, where we will eat the Passover supper this evening. He will take you upstairs to a large room all set up. Prepare our supper there. So the two disciples went on ahead into the city and found everything as Jesus has said, and prepared the Passover.
I hope the master approves of this table.
I believe that he will be very pleased.
Yes, I think we have laid out a wonderful feast for tonight's celebration.
I know the master approves of you. I'm just not certain if the master is pleased with me. Peter, you and John are in his inner circle. I know he's pleased with you.
Yeah, sometimes, Philip, but we make mistakes also.
I believe that the master will be pleased with everything.
The future is bright and hopeful, just like tonight's celebration.
Yes.
Come, let's go get the others.
Yes.
My brothers, do you understand what I was doing? You call me Master and Lord, and you do well to say it. And since I, Lord and Teacher, have washed your feet, so you ought to wash each other's feet. I've given you an example to follow here. Do as I have done to you. I'm going with you in a little while, but where I'm going, you cannot come. I give you a new command, that you love one another as I have loved you. Because if you are my disciples, then you will love one another. The scripture declares that one who eats supper with me will betray me. And this will soon come true. I tell you this now so that when it happens, you will believe on me. Woe to the man who betrays the Son of Man. It would have been better had he not been born. Yes, it's true. One of you will betray me.
I am Matthew. And before I became the disciple of Jesus, I worked for the Roman government as a tax collector. Working in this position, I was able to take advantage of one of the perks of this profession. I was taking a little bit of the top for my own gain. Listening to Jesus, I have come to realize that I have sinned against my neighbors. I have cheated. I steal from the hard-earned wages and goods. I accumulate earthly treasures instead of looking for the divine ones. My heart has changed because of Jesus. I even invited a lot of these corrupt people from my organization to a huge feast that I organize in my house so they can meet Jesus and perhaps change their hearts as well. But now, he speaks of a traitor among us. Will others suspect of me? A non-publican? A sinner? Is it I? Is it I?
I'm James the Lesser, known for such to describe my stature and to differentiate me from the many other men named James. Since joining Jesus' group of followers, I have seen the most miraculous things. Jesus has power over the sea. Even the wind and rain obey his voice. He has power over demons. He has cast out many evil spirits and given us the power to do the same in his name. He even has power over healing. He has healed many sick people that have had diseases for years, even from birth. Beyond this, he forgives sins. And now, one of these men who sit at this dinner table will betray him, one who eats and drinks with him. How could anyone doubt that he is the Lord, our Messiah, after walking and talking with him, after seeing prophecies fulfilled, miracle after miracle, and proof after proof? He has called us to follow him. Who could turn him away? Is it I? Is it I?
I am Andrew, brother of Simon Peter, the man who brought his own brother to the Lord. I'm not a gifted man, just an ordinary, average man, like many of you. But I've tried to do what I can with the talents to serve my master, with the gifts and talents I have. The others call me Andrew the Bringer because it seems all I've ever done is bring someone to Jesus. I brought my brother Peter to Jesus and have glorified him in the gradual transformation of his life. I found a little lad with 5 loaves and 2 fishes that day when Jesus fed the 5,000. And just recently, some Greeks came looking for the Master. And I was called once again to bring the Greeks to Jesus. He must have seen something of value in me that others overlooked, because he selected me to be one of the 12 disciples. I've been very close to the Master ever since. I may not have been in the inner circle like Peter, but I haven't been in the outer circle either. What greater gift could afford a fisherman? And now one of us is to betray him? It's unthinkable. Who could it be? How could he get away with this in his own heart? Could it be Andrew the Bringer? Is it I? Is it I?
Every day they pass me by. I can see it in
I am known as Bartholomew to some, Nathanael to others. I've been a diligent student of the Scriptures and a disciple of John the Baptizer. My friend Philip told me about this Jesus of Nazareth, saying he was the one about whom the prophets had written. At first I was skeptical. Jesus of Nazareth? Filthy, immoral place. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? But John said Jesus was the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. Then I met Jesus. He seemed to know my innermost thoughts. Although I have always been a devout man, I realized Jesus was offering something more intimate, more personal than my religion ever offered before. For thousands of years, we have been celebrating the feast of the Passover, remembering the bitter slavery in Egypt, remembering how the blood of the sacrificed lamb caused the angel of death to pass over the Israelites and spare their firstborn. Remembering how God and his people, how he set his people free. That wonderful story. And Jesus breaks this bread and says, "This is my body." He shares a cup and says, "This is my blood. Do this in remembrance of me." What can make me betray my friend? Lord, is it I? Is it I?
My name is Simon Peter. One day my partners and I were cleaning our nets after a long, hard night of fishing. And we were tired and discouraged. We had nothing to show for our efforts. Jesus was preaching to us as usual, to the many people who followed him from here to there, listening to his every word. He asked if he could sit in my boat, and I rowed him out a little till his voice would carry. When he had finished teaching, he asked me to row him a little further out and to throw our nets out again. And I told him it was pointless. We had worked all night and caught nothing. But I did as he asked. And then astonishingly, so many fish. The nets broke, trying to pull them all in. So many fish. We filled both our boats until they began to sink under the weight. I fell down on my knees before the Lord, feeling sinful and faithless in his holy presence. And then he told me I would no longer catch fish, but I would catch men. Tonight, he tells us that one of the 12 will betray him. I verily promised to follow him, even to death. But he looked right into my eyes and told me before the rooster crowed, I would deny him 3 times. Deny him? Am I not the rock that he called me to be? Could I lose my Lord because I'm not strong enough to be faithful? Is it I? Is it I?
His hands, carpenter hands, rough, weathered hands, yet so gentle and loving. His hands reached out and touched the leper, and the disease was erased.
his hands reached out and touched Peter's mother-in-law, and her fever disappeared. His hands reached out and lifted Jairus' daughter from her deathbed. His hands opened the ears of the deaf, the eyes of the blind, and they mended the bones of the lame. Countless infirmities, illnesses, deformities gone. His hands reached out and blessed the little children when others would have turned them away. His hands reached down, rescuing Peter from the churning sea that would have devoured him. His hands, blessing, breaking the bread, folding in prayer. Such simple gestures, yet so profound. Those hands have shown mercy and kindness. They've given love and healing. Those hands served me, Thaddeus, and his other brothers, and worshiped his father. All of us have received blessing from his hands. Who could betray him into the hands of the enemy? Will I betray him? Is it I? Is it I?
I am James, the brother of John. Jesus called us while we were mending our nets by the Sea of Galilee with our father Zebedee one day almost 3 years ago. We were honored when Jesus asked us to be among his 12 apostles. Our mother Salome was quite ambitious on our behalf, and she urged us to press our claims upon Jesus. On the way to Jerusalem last week, we made this request of him. Teacher, grant us to sit one at your right and the other at your left when you come into your kingdom. Well, he replied, you do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I am to drink and be baptized with the baptism with which I am baptized? We said, Lord, we are able. Then he told us that we would surely drink his cup and be baptized with his baptism, but it was not his power to grant the right and privilege of sitting at his right and left hand in his kingdom. The others were angry when they heard of our requests. Then Jesus reminded us that he who would be first must be the servant of all. And he demonstrated this by washing our feet before supper. And now, he who taught us the way of love is to be betrayed by one of those whom he loved? Who can it be? Why should one of us do such a thing? I keep thinking, deep down inside my own heart, is it I? Is it I?
All the others come from Galilee. My home is in the village of Kira in Judea. Hence, I am known as Judas of Kirath, or Judas Iscariot, the only Judean in the group. The others must have trusted me, because they led me the treasure. And surely Jesus, he called me as one of the 12. Some say that I appropriated the funds for my personal use, and that Jesus' words for the love of money and greed were directed to me. Of course, I did complain when Mary washed his feet with the expensive ointment and perfume. I still think that that was a waste of money. And if I conspire with the chief priest, and I have 30 pieces of silver on my person, that's my affair. I believe in Jesus, but someone has to make him assert himself as the Messiah. He refused to make a move. Well, I have made one. He hints that he knows what I've done. He said so earlier when he washed my feet. And what would you do if you were in his place, or in my place, and you wanted to do something dramatic? And what would you do if you were in his place? Should I ignore his remarks? Or should I, like the other ones, piously, self-righteously, ask myself, is it I? Is it I?
I have been listening to Jesus speak tonight around this table, and I simply do not understand. Words meant to comfort met with confusion and misunderstanding. Talk of betrayal met with suspicion. Where is he going? There is so much yet to be done, right here, right now. I sometimes marvel that I, Thomas, have seen him with my own eyes. I have touched my Lord and Master with my own hands. I've watched him perform miracles, change lives. I don't want him to go. Not now. Not ever. And how can we follow him if we don't know where he's going? Has he seen my life of faith my hidden doubt, my fears? Is it I? Is it I, Lord?
One day a plain village woman, driven by love for her Lord, recklessly poured out a valuable essence, disregarding the scorn. And once it was broken and spilled out, a fragrance filled all the room, like the prisoner released from his shackles, like the spirit set free from the tomb.
Just the love of you, Jesus, my own precious treasure. Lavish on
Lord, you are God's precious treasure, His love and His own perfect Son, sent here to show me the love of the Father. Just for love it was done. You
It's taken me some time to understand that this man, the fulfilled promise of God, was actually God here among us. Recently, thousands of men and women and families were on the hillside listening to Jesus teach, men and women. And Jesus asked me, where could we get enough to feed them? And I thought for a minute that the physical cost I thought about, such a venture. Why, our treasury doesn't hold such funds. I guess I gave no thought to the people's discomfort of perhaps that Jesus could perform a miracle. But Jesus, he took 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. He prayed over it, he broke it into pieces, and he fed thousands. And we collected 12 baskets of leftovers. He fed all of these people. God here among us. Who would deny the promised one? And who would want to deliver this person, Jesus, to the arrogant priest or to the Roman ruler who sought to have a rival ruler in their kingdom? Could any of us forget his power? Could we forget his compassion? Could I forget? Is it I? Is it I?
I am Simon the Zealot, or Simon Zealot. Before Jesus came into my life, I belonged to a group of hot-headed, bloodthirsty revolutionaries. We were all full on rebellion against Rome. We believed in crushing our enemies under our heels and establishing the ancient glory that was Israel's in the days of David and Solomon. But yet, Jesus showed me. Kingdom of the kingdom. When God reigns there supreme. Since I've heard him, I've changed my mind and also my ways. I've given him my highest worth and Jesus' devotion. I have unconditionally and completely surrendered myself to think his thoughts, to love as he loves, and who he loves, and to obey as he obeys. For you see, this surrender has not imprisoned me, but rather it has set me free for the first time in my life. For I am no longer afraid of her, for she is mighty, but God is all. And now, the Master says that there is a spiritual Roman, one who is tempted by force, working only with the mind. What could it be? Could it be Matthew, the publican, the big fisherman, or his brother? Or does he suspect me? Saying that I am the only form of self-promise. Is it I? Is it I?
After Jesus called Peter and Andrew to follow him, he came to me and my brother James. We were in a boat nearby where the Father said, mending our nets. He called us and we immediately left the boat and our Father and followed him. Since then, I've been trying to understand Jesus by loving him. I think that he is as much God as will ever possess a human life. Yet, I love him as a person, and he loves me in return. He calls me the beloved disciple. I've shared his trials and his victories. Peter and I have completed all the arrangements for the Passover celebration here in the upper room tonight because he considers us as his close, intimate inner circle. It was me that Jesus had told about his talk with Nicodemus when he said those wonderful words. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth on him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Someday, I'd like to write down some of his sayings and some of his deeds so that others may read and believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God. But yet, Jesus just said that one of us is a betrayer. Who could it be? Surely not my brother, or Andrew, or Peter. Could it be John, the beloved disciple? Is it I?
Take it. This is my body given for you. Do this in remembrance of me. That was the blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many. And this is my body that was broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me.
No, it's not me.
Yes, it is you. What you're about to do it quickly.
Into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory.
Peter, James, John, please come with me to pray.
Soul.
Let's express our thanksgiving to the Lord, appreciation for these who have served and ministered in this moment. Shall we please?